Hey, I'm Jason from the Makeover Guys. Welcome to Strategize Makeover and Rent. We are going to analyze 28 Boulevard. There are three steps that we're going to look at it. First thing is the basic information, and second one is basically what are the rental analysis like, and lastly we need to run a 10 years cash flow to see how it performs. Now when we talk about 28 Boulevard, the first one that we need to look at is studio for today's analysis. There are a total of 1,920 units there. Pretty much, I would say a bit dense, and the loan for that is basically studio unit is about 380k, and then installment is rough calculation based on the formula is about 1,009, so it's roughly there. And then a quick one estimation that we have done to do up a unit fully furnished in 28 Boulevard Studio costs about 25k. And then for partly furnished, it's about 4,000, so pretty low. And one thing to take note is basically the stamp duty, especially when we do the title transfer. So it costs about 6.6k, so it's 6,006 lah. Next, we need to see what are the rental rates like. So for rental analysis, it's pretty simple. We need to first look at the building itself, how it performed. Now when we look at the building, we will need to slice it into three sections. The first one is basically fully furnished maximum and fully furnished minimum. So this would be the bracket for fully furnished, the highest and the lowest. Then the other one that we need to look at is partly furnished minimum. So these are the rental rate that is, what are the lowest rental rate we can see in that building itself. Now when we run a quick analysis, we do find out that for the highest asking for fully furnished there is 1,006, and then for fully furnished lowest it's 1,004, and the lowest partly furnished at the time when we did our analysis is 850. So next one is basically to complete our rental analysis, we normally need to look at what are the competing units around the condo. But for this development, it's pretty unique because when we look at the surrounding ones, right, there are no direct comparisons. So there are a lot of medium cost apartments nearby which actually doesn't have studio units. So for that, we have to neglect because there are no comparable products which is nearby. By looking at the data, we have to set a fully furnished rental rate and partly furnished rental rate that we need to run the analysis. The rate that we use is pretty much slightly conservative. We are not going to use the highest, but we use somewhere in the middle, so that it's much more realistic. Now for the fully furnished that we are going to use is somewhere in the middle, it's 1,005. And then for partly furnished, we need to use the lowest, which is 850, because to win in a partly furnished rentals area, we have to really throw prices. So that's how we win. So with these two, second piece of information, rental analysis, we need to answer one of the questions. So if I am the investors, should I partly furnish or should I fully furnish my unit? With that, we need to run the final piece of our analysis, which is 10 years cash flow. So 10 years cash flow, basically it's actually allow us to see what would happen if I were to hold that unit for 10 years. We need to draw a simple chart, and first thing that we need to assume is basically we would run a 10 years appreciation test. That means if I were to hold 10 years, how much would this cost? So with a 5% annual increment, we are expecting the price to be about 590k. So increased by 210,000. This is rough calculation. So the next one is, if I were to do my partly furnished, my initial cash flow is negative 25k, and then towards 10 years my net cash flow is basically negative 133k. So it's a rough calculation there. Now for fully furnished, what happened is pretty interesting. We can see our net cash flow is negative 38k, and then as it progressed, basically at year 10, our net cash flow is only negative 72k. That means as an investors, it's the interesting part is basically by doing fully furnished and partly furnished, there is a difference of about 61,200. So basically it's a huge gap in the middle. So as an investors, of course we want to earn more money, and by looking at the analysis itself, we should do a fully furnished. Now let's look at how we make over a unit. Do let us know what are the developments you guys want us to review and analyze, and we'll do it in next episode. Do remember to share with your friends who have invested in this development so that this analysis can help them to maximize their investment. If you enjoy our video, do like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.